Guys, we have a brand new piece of teaser footage here for the upcoming 28 Years Later, and there's something that I think is pretty substantial in this small teaser clip that lends credence to the theory that a lot of us have had, that there's a particular infected character in this movie who's not like the other infected. He seems to be sentient, he seems to retain part of his humanity, and he doesn't seem to have the rage part of the virus. And it's very, very interesting. We'll go through this teaser and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So let's start breaking this down. I'll have to play it in 10-second segments to avoid the copyright. So we'll play 10 seconds, stop, and then have a bit of a discussion before we carry on. Just to let you guys know the format here. So let's go back to the beginning and let's get going in 3, 2, 1.
So many are dead.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it there. So let's get to breaking this down. So we start off here with Holy Island. Obviously, we know this is where our characters originate from. This is where their little civilization is, their little village, I should say. And they're sort of connected to the mainland via this causeway. And once the tide kind of goes out, the causeway is exposed and they can kind of make their way across to the mainland. And obviously we've seen that in the trailers. They make their way to the mainland. They have a mission where they're looking for supplies or, you know, whatever it is that they're trying to do. So we know that's going to be happening. Let's keep going. Okay, then we get a vivid shot of kind of the English flag on fire. It's that kind of metaphor for kind of England burning from the inside out, kind of the English flag burning, kind of withering away, kind of that metaphor for the country itself, kind of slowly deteriorating as well. So I kind of like that imagery there. By the way, if you hear a plane in the background, I do apologize. I live right next to an airport, so it's a bit noisy sometimes. So this is where it kind of lends credence to the theory that a lot of us have, that this character, this infected character here, he's very, very different from the other infected. And he doesn't seem to have the rage portion of the virus. So it's going to be interesting to see how this character pans out and how he fits in. But yeah, so we see these two characters, the human characters. We have this young boy here and we have Jodie Foster, which is his mum. They're kind of standing in a field, doing whatever. And then this kind of infected character here that we've seen very prevalently in the marketing, he pops up in this field. And there's something very, very different about this infected human here. He doesn't have the red bloodshot eyes like the other infected do. His appearance is different, and from his expression here, he's looking at these two human characters. He looks to almost, it looks like he's understanding what's going on, like he's trying to kind of communicate with them, almost like he's trying to warn them in some way. But it definitely, just from the body language, the facial expression, it just looks as if he's about to communicate, like he's just not, he doesn't have the rage portion of the virus like the other infected people do. And I think it lends heavily to that theory, like a lot of us have had, that he's a sentient infected person, which is very, very interesting. So let's keep going forward. So he's standing there kind of observing the two humans. The boy starts to draw an arrow from his quiver. But yeah, so I mean, it almost looks as though as well. So the I almost want to say zombie, infected. The infected pops up, and then it looks like the young lad is looking at him. But this young lad here, looking at this infected character, he's not scared. He's not running away. He doesn't seem to be worried about it. He's almost kind of nonchalant about it. He starts to draw a quiver from his bow. But yeah, I mean, is he going to speak, this infected character? Is he going to communicate through body language? I would love to know your theories, guys, but it definitely looks like he's sentient. So I throw it off to you and kind of jump down in the comment section and let me know what you think about that. So let's keep going forward. Before it was, okay, so we'll play the teaser from where we left off, which was, oh no, we haven't done this bit yet. Sorry, I apologize. So we cut to this part here, the Bone Temple. Obviously, we know that 28 years later, the second movie in the trilogy is going to be called The Bone Temple. So we know that this Bone Temple is going to be a big part of the narrative. We have Ralph Fiennes' character as well. And we know there's this kind of cult in the movie as well. We've seen like the shaman type masks that are in the trailer. So what is this Bone Temple about? Do they kind of sacrifice humans to the infected? That's a theory of mine, but I'm not really sure. So we see this big Bone Temple here. Then we get Aaron Taylor Johnson with the young lad when they make their way to the mainland. And then it cuts to all this different kind of imagery. We're going to have to go through this slowly because the imagery pops up so damn quick. So we see the infected here and they look crazy as hell, man. I mean, look at this kind of vivid, kind of blurry imagery. They do a great job of this in the marketing and it's really, really kind of disturbing imagery. So we see some of the infected here running across the countryside, chasing after Aaron Taylor Johnson across this kind of English moor, this kind of green open field here. And another great shot there. You see how it looks different from the other infected. So the infected here, who have the rage virus, their eyes like glow kind of red, if you like. They're kind of infected with this red kind of bloodshot pupils. Whereas the other infected, the one back that we were talking about, look how different he looks in his appearance there. The sentient infected to the regular infected. It's night and day the difference between his appearance. So let's keep going. Another shot of their mouth of the infected. Man, that looks gnarly. He's going to need some dentistry work. Could you imagine being bitten by that? Oh, man. The kind of bacteria. Yeah, that's not good. Then we get a shot of what looks to be a train, I think. Let's keep going forward. Then we get the NATO soldiers here. We know the NATO soldiers are going to be heavily involved as well. We saw that in the trailers. We know some of them are going to be infected. Here we can see, again, the red bloodshot pupils of the infected. Looks to be some of the NATO soldiers that were infected here. So, 28 years later. Then, basically, we keep playing the footage from here. Okay, I'm just going to pause it there. And then it's basically showing us a compilation of the older film 28 Days Later, which is kind of cool. 28 Days Later, only in theaters May the 21st. So if you've never seen the original 28 Days Later in theaters on the big screen, then you get the chance May the 21st to see it in theaters. I'm not sure in which countries it's going to be showcasing, so you'll have to check your local theater and see if it's playing there for yourself, for whatever country that you're in. It doesn't actually say here whether it's just the US or outside of the US or whether it's in the UK or not. So you'll have to check for yourselves, guys. I'm sure it'll be in various different locations. But yeah, I mean, that's the footage that we have there. But the main thing that I want to take away from this is just the fact of how different that infected looks. That's what the regular rage infected looks like with the red bloodshot pupils. Then we go back and how different this guy looks. There's something different about him, but I can't put my finger on it. I just don't know why he looks different, or is he going to be able to talk and communicate? That's the kind of thing I want to take away here, guys. So jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this small piece of teaser footage. What is your theory about this special infected looking character? I would love to know what you guys think. And just let me know your thoughts, comments, and opinions about everything else as well, guys. I would love to hear your feedback. Thanks so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. Consider becoming a subscriber if you haven't done so far. It goes a long way to supporting the content, so I'd really appreciate that. And as always, I will see you in the next video.